at Harbor Park CrossFit, a show dedicated to helping you find enrichment for the other 23 hours of your day outside of the gym. Here's your hosts, Jason, Dave, and Corian.
Hello, and welcome to Anchored at Harbor Park CrossFit.
Yay.
Episode 17?
I believe so. We're almost 20.
That's a lot of talking.
It's all good. So if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, you'll see that we're kind of cramped around our new desk that we got for the office. It looks kind of nice. So, hello.
It'll get organized at some point.
Our goal this week is to organize the office. Mm-hmm. So our topic today...
My icebreaker.
We'll get on it. Okay, go with your icebreaker then.
We always do the icebreaker before we talk about the topic.
Let's do it.
So my icebreaker to you guys today would be... what would be your dream or next, because I got a million of them, vacation? Like, what do you want to go do?
I would like to go to Italy and go to the Amalfi Coast. It's probably the first thing I'll do when I actually take like a real vacation on my own.
Yeah.
Or not on my own, but like not that my mother's organizing.
You're going back to the motherland.
Jay, how old are you?
Or the homeland, however you want to look at it.
I've never really like gone on vacation by myself.
Yeah, you said you have started to get inspired by all of the coaches wanting to travel and all the things that we want to do.
Yeah, I mean, we went to San Diego. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I want to go back there and actually enjoy it versus, having 10-hour-day seminars, but someday. Dave?
I want to go to Costa Rica and then tour like the volcanoes and go through the rainforest.
Arno, a volcano.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. That's on my to-do list. A lot of people I tell before we met you, like we've talked about, Dave and I always trying to find something else to do other than, law enforcement before. I almost convinced Dave to buy a bed and breakfast in Costa Rica.
You still can.
I mean, we could. I don't think it's up for sale, but there's more. I want to backpack Europe. That's a dream of mine. Just load up my bag, go and kind of see as much as I can.
Yeah, I'd like to do a Euro trip. That'd be cool. Check out all those places.
Yeah, kind of get the most of it. It's super easy to do because they have like a train system through all the countries, so it's really cheap. And between hostels or backpacking and camping, like I've heard that it's not hard to plan. So I would love to do like a long, like month-long or more backpacking trip. You can come. I will show you the ropes.
Nice.
I think we should start at a different one. That should not be my first one.
No, it shouldn't.
Probably not. All right.
So episode 17, this one was some motivation from one of our clients, Danielle Clark, came to me, gave us this episode idea. She asked if we would cover topics relating to staying motivated during the summertime and how and what you can do if you're on vacation, or in her case, she might be getting deployed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I guess Michigan had some really rough weather with some of their roads got washed out. And then she might have to go down to Arizona to help, I guess, with border security. So she was telling me that, what do I do when I'm gone? But she also mentioned that there's a couple people, and we know that there's people on vacation right now, and she wants to make sure that they stay motivated. So I was like, that'd be a good episode.
All right.
And yeah, it's finally summer, so hooray.
Yeah, and it kind of goes
Wednesday.
with that.
Yeah.
So we're 2
We have
days
the
in the
sunshine
summer.
today.
Yeah, the rain all week kind of didn't make it feel like summer, but it is.
So let's talk about it. Now that, the weather's getting nicer, you want to be outside as much as possible. So you tend to kind of do everything you can, right? We go on those summer vacations, we go camping, we go anywhere you can to be outside because we only get 3 or 4 months of nice weather, and then it goes back to winter. So let's talk about how you stay motivated. Corian, what do you do?
For me, I've kind of established that fitness is like my routine. So if I don't work out, I feel really lazy. And so like it's just part of who I am. Like my mom lovingly is encouraging me to come visit them at their place. It's not far. It's only an hour and a half drive. And I said, when we have a weekend, we can. And she's like, well, during the week, because they retired now. I've been retired for a whole 2 weeks. I don't want to go during the week. That's going to mess up my routine. Unless I get in here, work out, then go visit, and then, come back early the next morning so I can fitness again. Like, I'm not going. Like, it's not happening. So I think trying to establish those habits and routines and just make part of your life makes it a little bit easier once nicer weather comes. Or for us, we were just on vacation, and we made sure to do drop-ins and everything like that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, obviously I haven't really worked out in a few months now, and it like eats away at me. Like I want to be back, and so it's kind of this thing where we have it kind of built into our DNA now, where this is just who we are. It's part of our lifestyle. Do we get unmotivated? Sure, we do. Sometimes we don't want to come in and work hard and bust our butt, but at the same time, we know that not doing it is going to make us feel worse.
Yeah.
So it's kind of something that we just, for doing it so long, we know that it needs to be done.
Yeah, and I took 2 weeks off. So with my vacation, I was still working out on vacation. We went camping and we were hiking. We did 2 drop-ins at San Francisco CrossFit, and then obviously when we came back, it was like busting our butt to get this place open, the new Racine facility. So I took that week off, and then getting back at it now, it's, just 1 week. You're already kind of like, you feel a little more sluggish. So I can't imagine like taking a whole summer off or months off, but people do it because, softball games, but it makes it that much harder to come back. So mainly one of the things we want everybody to remember is remember your why. So we've talked about this numerous times in other episodes, but remembering why, and it's on our wall, remember why you started. What is it that motivates you, and kind of hold that close? What are your goals? And always focus on that.
Yeah, so like I kind of combined, like I said before, my DNA and my why is all kind of interwoven now. When I think about I don't want to work out today, it's very easy for me to just remember that, like, this is who I am now. I don't skip the gym. It's something I just have to do regardless if I like it or not.
Right.
It's a really important to figure out the long term instead of, we kind of talked about this other episode, a couple episodes ago. Just thinking about the short term. If you're only focused on, looking good for the summer, and we're already at summer, then of course you're going to get discouraged and unmotivated and off track.
Do you know what one of the biggest things I've been doing lately too? Because same thing, like not every day do I want to come in early and work out and then coach all night. I'd rather just come in and coach all night sometimes. Or sometimes, I was telling Miranda, because of exciting things that we're doing in the business and that I'm doing on my side hustle now, sometimes I'm like, I really just want to work on that. But then that's going to eat in my fitness time. So again, remembering my why. But because I've gotten into journaling, thanks to you, Jay, it asks me, like, what are your 3 things that you're going to do today? Almost every single day that I feel like I'm waking up and I might not have that motivation, or I'm not sure, fitness or enjoying my workout, or something that's going to be like, hey, you're planning this for the day. So that way, I'm like, when I'm planning my day, I'm like, oh, girl, you already wrote in your journal that you were going to fitness and enjoy your fitness today.
Yeah. I'm glad that you brought that point up, because before we started, I was thinking about this. When you're in that rut and you're unmotivated, you don't want to go work out, we always say, just go to the gym. The rest will take care. Like, that's the hardest step, is just coming. Mm-hmm. I'm the same exact way when I'm in a rut. Like, I don't want to write my journal. Like, I don't want to open it up and like confront the fact that I've been lazy. But then once you do it, once you open it and you start writing, you feel so much better and like back on track. Same deal. As soon as you just get your butt in the car and drive here, you're gonna feel so much better.
Yeah, and that's kind of goes into my point. It's not on our issue list or topic list here, but just by you guys talking about it, and that we've talked about our favorite books before. One of the books that I forgot to mention was The Power of Habit. Listen to that book. Very excellent book, and talks about all this stuff. The power of habit is amazing, so it can have, obviously, negative effects and good effects, but if you, like you guys talk about, those journals, that's your habit, and it kind of forces you to do the good things. If you get lazy with it and you back out, it can also force you to make bad decisions too, right? So staying with your good habits, because basically working out and coming into the gym and making sure that you stay motivated is a habit builder. So you built that all up through the winter time when it was bad weather. You made that part of your day. That's your habit. Then also the weather starts to get nice, and then you can fall back. It's easy to fall back into the bad habits.
Yes.
And once you fall back in those bad habits, it's so hard to come back and break the bad habits. It's like eating crappy again, and then all of a sudden, how easy is it to just be like, well, I'll just go to McDonald's, or I'll go through the drive-thru and I'll just do this and I'll just do that. It compounds. And summer doesn't make it easy, but you got to stay motivated and keep with those.
So
power of habit.
You stop working out, then you get out of shape, you probably put a little bit of weight back on, then you do get back in here and it's harder, and then you get unmotivated again. Right. That's kind of the compounding that you're talking about.
Yeah, and then it's up and down, up and down, and up and down. We're talking about building a healthy lifestyle to keep you guys out of the nursing home for a long period of time. Have a healthy life, living your whole life, not just 3 months in the wintertime because you're bored. So let's get into it. If you are... And
before we proceed, we're not going to tell you, like, you have to come to the gym every single day during the summer. Like, that's not what we're getting after. We just want to help you guys make better decisions, maybe do some activities outside of the gym so you can still enjoy the weather.
Right. Yeah, and that's what we're going to talk about next is, so if, sometimes if you're on vacation or you're camping, that obviously isn't a choice for you. You can't come into the gym today. However, if luckily you have CrossFit gyms all over the world, so every vacationing you could do a drop-in. But if you're one of those people who's like, nope, I'm on vacation, it is a good idea to stay active and do something. So one of the things, like if you don't have the opportunity to go to another gym, go for a hike. That was one of the things when we were out in Big Sur, out in California. We were kind of secluded. We took our backpacks and the dog, and I loaded him up. He's 30 pounds, so I felt of it as it's like wearing my vest. It's 30 pounds.
Yeah, our goal was, for me personally, was to just make sure that every day I was doing movement, and that I wasn't we weren't getting up. It's weird because, before when we would camp, and my whole family talks about this because that's what they're doing, is they feel like their whole entire camping experience when they go on the weekend is you eat, and then you talk about what you're going to be eating next. And all you can sit around is eat and drink. And I don't know, if it's just, Midwesterners. I don't know if it's just my family. But it just seems like when I deal with my clients, they're always talking about, camping, we just eat and drink. So changing our perspective of what we were doing so that it involved us hiking, sightseeing, walking around the campsite, or, reading and stuff like that really kind of changed my vacation for the first time in my life. And my whole goal was to just move.
Mm-hmm. And then we worked on mindset stuff. We brought our journals with us. You can journal while you're on vacation or camping.
Mine's all dirty now. I like it.
I'm usually on the road for 2 weekends every month for Boxstar. So if I'm overnight somewhere, and if I'm working all day, obviously I can't be active. I'm on my feet, but I can't, do any physical activity. So what I do when I'm feeling good is just a super quick workout in the hotel room, just body weight. You can do our benchmark, 8 minutes of burpees, sit-ups, and air squats. You
15.
5 minutes of air squats, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be long. Just get your heart rate up for a few minutes, get a good sweat on.
Mm-hmm. I remember when we were in San Diego, I did a death by burpees. Started with, I think it was 5, and then every minute you add 1 burpee. That's a good 25 minute workout.
You just do it right in your room. You don't need shoes. You don't need anything really.
You can do death by air squats too.
We are big proponents of warming up and stretching and making sure that you're going to be safe when you're working out. That being said, when you're kind of out and about and you're doing body weight movements, we all kind of know how to warm up. So if you've been around for a little bit, just making sure we're stretching out the hips, getting the arm, like you said, just kind of getting that heart rate up. Sometimes those body weight movement workouts, so if you only have 30 minutes, are going to be okay. So just doing something is better than doing nothing.
Yep. So if you have access to a hotel room, that's easy. A lot of hotel rooms now have kettlebells, dumbbells. You can obviously how to use those. Treadmills, bikes, ellipticals, anything would help.
Yeah, just come up with something
You might
creative.
not have the barbell, but come up with
You don't
something
need
creative. Look at the sugar wad. Look at our workouts. And
I've
modify.
posted
Yep,
about at-home workouts that people can do, or text us. Like if I've had people text me before they've gone on vacation or while on vacation, like this is what I have. What can I do? And I'll make a workout for you.
Yeah,
like,
if
it's
you know
fine.
you're going on vacation.
Yeah, I've done that with people too.
If you know you're going on vacation, shoot us a message or an email. I would be happy to look at the week ahead and modify all of them for you and give you, you just have to tell me where you're going or what you're going to have access to if you know it, and then I can modify it. And I would be happy to give you change it up to give you, to be able to do it. So that's hotel rooms. Obviously you have access to it. If you're out in the wilderness or you're camping, Corian, what can we do?
Find a log.
Yeah,
There you go.
We've done that before.
Yeah, give them some insight of what we used to do when we were camping.
When we camped, we went and found the playground, and we used the playground. It's so you can't do kipping pull-ups, but like we had a bar, so I could do pull-ups.
They had monkey bars.
They have monkey bars. We did squats. We used the barn to do handstand push-ups. We ran a hill. You can do, so many creative things. If nothing else, while you're gone, just do intervals of running. Like
Sprints,
yeah, 20 seconds on, 40 seconds off, or 30-30, whatever you want to do. And you can, what's nice about that is you can make the intervals whatever you want for as long as you want. So if you have 30 minutes to run, you can do intervals for 30 minutes. If you don't and you only have 15, make it a little bit harder and only go for 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm. You can, there's so many combinations. You can do that. You can incorporate push-ups, air squats, burpees. If you have a partner, you could do some type of partner carries. You can do wheelbarrow walks. You could do bear crawls. There's so many things you can do with your body weight.
Again, message us if you really don't want to have to think about it. That's why we're here. We will give you stuff. One thing I want to interject too, I just thought about, when you're doing a drop-in, let them know ahead of time. We love when people message us and give us a heads up. You guys know that we have class caps or class times, or sometimes we special events, and it might not be on our website, so we want to make sure that we let them know that we're closed or what our class times are.
And let us know, and we can give you a good recommendation on a good gym to go to.
Yeah, we know a lot.
They're not all created.
No. And so a lot of people ask me that too. So just shoot them an email, give them a phone call, let them know that you're going to be coming out. Don't just show up to a class. Yeah. They'll let you in probably, but
deep in their mind, they're thinking, please, why didn't they just let me know?
Yeah.
Because sometimes it throws the coach off. You generally,
or there's waivers to be signed,
from a coach's
and now they're
mindset,
behind.
you're kind of planning your morning out. You're in the mindset, and all of a sudden someone shows up. Yeah, you got paperwork to do. Then you got to sell it. Then if you're back-to-back classes and you don't have an assistant, some gyms do not have an assistant. They don't have. We are very rare with that. So, if they have to fill out a bunch of paperwork, then they're behind on their class. So make sure you give them a heads up. We're going to talk about moving on to eating when you're on vacation.
So this is just kind of my personal strategy, because usually we'll do like a dinner. We're probably going to drink at dinner. It's probably going to be a little bit bigger. So I try to have smaller meals throughout the day, try to eat a little bit less so that I'm not going way overboard at night.
Yeah. This is where we talk about that like 90-10. So obviously Dave and I were just gone too. So my breakfast, my lunch, and everything like that, I try to be as good as possible. Lean protein, veggies, a little bit of fruit. Like you said, because I knew I was going to go out to dinner and I was probably going to have wine, or one night we had sushi, which was so good. But I still didn't let myself go crazy. Like Dave and I, they brought bread to our table, and oh my God, I just wanted it so bad. And Dave's like, no, because like we're going to get a meal. Like, why are you going to kind of fill up on this bread? It's not even like good bread. It's not special bread. There's nothing unique about it. So enjoy your meal that you're going to get, and then leaving the bread off is like your better decision. So we're always just trying to make better decisions. So we ate good all day, didn't eat bread, got you.
Like Ben Bergeron says, your food's literally going to be out in 5 minutes. Just wait. You don't eat the bread. Although I always eat the bread.
I didn't. I was so proud of him. Because like he said, it was kind of like a...
Actually, I should take that back. Last time I went out, I did not have the bread.
There you go.
I tasted it, and it wasn't that good. So I was like, I don't need it.
There is nothing worse than having like a quote, like cheat meal or like a cheat bite of something and it not being worth it. Like you're like, why did I even get that?
Yeah.
I think one of the downfalls that we have when we're on vacation is like, oh, we're on vacation, I'm going to just enjoy it and I'm going to engorge, right? It's okay to like enjoy life and it's okay to go out to dinner or do whatever you're going to do. But like we said, like I tell people all the time, like if you're going to have a cheat day or whatever, let's say, okay, I'm on vacation, we're going to go out to eat dinner. Doesn't mean that all day has to be a cheat day.
Right. And
so make that dinner, you're going to be your cheat meal, right? And then
I have a shitty breakfast, I usually feel like shit all day long. So if you want to enjoy your day, have, like you said, a nice light breakfast so you can actually enjoy and do things.
Yep. And then you can get in your workout and then you feel, then you'll feel a little bit less guilty if you had that cheat meal. But a cheat meal doesn't mean everything on the menu, right? Doesn't mean you have to. You can still have a good cheat meal, but make good decisions. So a good decision would be like anything seafood, lean meats, lots of vegetables. Try to stay away from that fried stuff because honestly, the oils that they use in restaurants aren't going to be good for you anyways, and they're going to make you feel very sluggish. So no fried foods, lots of veggies, and lean meats and seafood.
So some other things that I'll add too is like, so when we went to dinner, like I had a dinner that was kind of outside of my realm of what I was supposed to be eating, but it was still relatively healthy. And then we didn't get dessert. So because the meal itself was my cheat, if I wanted the dessert, I would have just flipped that. Now my meal has to be compliant, and then I'll get like a cheesecake or something. So again, like Dave said, it doesn't all have to be out the window. So that's one thing. Another thing that I really strive for when I'm on vacation or I'm having a busy day or whatever, and I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be your quote unquote cheat. One of the other things that I don't like doing when I'm having a cheat meal or a cheat day, if I'm going to go out to San Francisco and I'm going to eat food that's outside of like what I'm normally going to be doing, I am not going to get a burger topped with an egg and bacon that I can have at home. Like that, to me, like that's pointless, isn't it? Like if I'm going to cheat, I'm going to do something that's like from San Francisco. Like, I don't know, like when we went to New Orleans, we went and got a lot of Vietnamese stuff.
And gumbo, yep.
And gumbo. So because I can't get that back here, why am I going to go out to like a vacation spot and eat things that I could eat at home? That's no excuse to be cheating. Because then that's just going to make you come home, and then you're going to be like, oh, well, I was eating that stuff anyway. Might as well.
Yeah. So we can talk on this because we just went camping. When we went camping, a lot of people tend to think, and the reason why this comes up is because we talked about it. The two campsites next to us, we kind of watched what people were eating and how they were eating versus what we were eating. And you can just see, the packaged hot dogs, bratwursts, chips.
Did you know that like deli meats and hot dogs and sausages are level 1 carcinogen?
Yeah.
On par with smoking cigarettes?
Yeah. It's because of all the nitrates and stuff that they put into it.
Yeah.
So my clients that I work with, on their no food list is they're not allowed to have deli meat unless it's Applegate.
Yeah. So if you're getting deli meat or even like bacon and stuff, you want to make sure it's uncured and nitrate free. So the only one that I know of that does that for lunch meat is Applegate. You can look for it. They do have like chicken breast, turkey breast. It doesn't last as long because obviously it doesn't have any preservatives in it. It's not soaked in stuff, but it's still very good and it actually tastes better to me. So if you have to have lunch meat and that's an easy, absolutely easy meal, just make sure you get the right decision. Don't go to the deli counter. They load that stuff up with sodium, and a lot of them are soaked in sugar, and then the nitrates and stuff that they soak them in.
Mm-hmm. So when we were camping, like Dave said, we were watching, and we're not watching other people to be rude. We're just watching because we're trying to make our culture as a whole healthier. And so I'm trying to see, like, to help my clients, like, what are still traditional things that people are bringing.
We're observing like scientists.
Yeah.
Kinda. And
I'm curious.
And if you guys are following us, you know that I'm actually doing the series of In the Kitchen right now. I did some videos of us camping and how to cook on that. So,
what to bring.
Yeah, and how to cook on a campfire. So that was the inspiration there, is because we saw this and we're like, we had a cooler, we had our meal plans, we knew, we planned this out, we knew what we were going to eat, we went shopping before we got there.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize when you go on vacation, you can go to a grocery store and
Usually there's a grocery store somewhere.
buy good food.
Somewhere, even if you're in another country. There was a grocery store down in St. Thomas when we went to
They
St.
all
Thomas.
eat food.
Yep.
Figure out
So
where they buy it from.
granted, San Francisco and California is very expensive, but we went shopping on our way out to our camping site and loaded our cooler with ice and got all our food for the week. So we had, the eggs and everything, fresh food. And one of the common denominators that we saw just going around was everybody had, hot dogs, hamburgers, and it just appeared to me that they didn't know how to cook or how to eat when they're camping.
They had donuts, bread, stuff like that for breakfast.
Yeah.
Like easy stuff.
Easy
Yeah.
stuff, because it's quick and easy, but it's nothing, that is not going to fuel you and make you want to go out and do hey, let's go for a hike now. You're
Right.
just
You'd be
loaded down.
lethargic and
I think one of the biggest things is people, like I said, use vacation or any of that as an excuse. To be honest, that's exactly what it is.
Maybe, yeah.
You aren't willing to put in the effort to plan ahead and stick to your goals. So that's what we've got to change, is that mindset. So if you think that there's no excuse, I can't let myself fall off the wagon, these are the ways that I can set myself up for success. I greatly enjoyed my vacation. For the first time ever, did not come back 10 pounds heavier. So
Right, and then and that's the other thing. The other negative effect is you can enjoy your vacation, and if you do that, you're going to come back, and then you're going to feel I just gained 15, 20 pounds, and then again, now a lot of people, right there, that demotivate, doesn't motivate you, because now you're I've already gained 20 pounds, and then the work that you're going to have to put in to make that go away, so that doesn't help you.
I get it, because one of my problems is I hit the airport and it's all right, I'm free of all my responsibility.
Yeah.
I don't have to work for however long. I don't care, whatever happens. So that's a challenge I face. And then you go past all the fast food places and the bars and everything, and then it's challenging, but you can always find good options.
Yeah.
because
So
what do
let's-
people do? They're like, oh, I'm on vacation. So, and I'm guilty of this. Dave and I would go on vacation. As soon as we got to the airport and we're waiting for a plane, what do we
Yep,
do?
you
Get a
go
Bloody
get a
Mary.
drink, yeah.
It's vacation. You
And
can
there's
drink
$10
anytime.
for a freaking beer, so
Yeah.
why?
So camping, you can still eat healthy. Bring your food, load your cooler up, and the best way. And a lot of people are well, pots and pans, especially if you're going on a plane. Where you're going to get those? Just buy tin foil, aluminum foil, when you go to the grocery store. Those, you can wrap your food up in that and cook it over the fire, and it works perfectly.
And-
Aluminum foil, it's
Yeah.
cheap, and it acts as a it's like a little Dutch oven kind of, because it steams the food when it's in there. Put maybe a few ice cubes if it's like potatoes or something, to give some water in there, and it'll steam them, and works great for veggies.
Yeah, Dave and I also, on the plane ride back, we packed veggies and protein shakes. So when they came around and they're like, what do you want to drink? Because you can't have water. So it's just the powder in our shaker bottle. I was like, I need a large can of water. Don't give me a little cup. And I just made my own protein
Yeah,
shake.
so
Yeah.
a lot of
I
people
mean,
don't know this.
You can bring a bottle past.
You can bring in your whole food. So we cooked our food prior. It just can't be a liquid. They wouldn't let our yogurt on. So they, if you go to the TSA website, they say things that can be thrown. Aerosol stuff you can't have, and they said anything that's gooey, like yogurt, and you just have to look at it. Sauces, they didn't want that. But so I made my Tex-Mex meal, and I had it in a container. Corian had her turkey curry meal all cooked up, and we had it in our cooler, and
Both
a little
are
lunch,
edible cold.
and we went through TSA. They didn't give us any problems. On the plane, we zip it out. Everybody's ordering their lunch, because it was at lunchtime. They're ordering from the plane that they're going to charge you $15, $20 for a little sandwich that's not even good. It's been sitting in a fridge for a week. And we're sitting there eating our meals. People are looking at us, and somebody even asked us, you can do that? And we're yeah, you didn't know that? You can bring your food on. They don't say a word. And like you said, we had a protein shake later, because it was a 4.5-hour flight, so we ate our food. And then later on, we're all right, I'm getting a little hungry now. Let's have our protein shake. So we had our shaker bottles with our protein in it. Couldn't have the water in it, but we asked the plane for it, because they give you free water.
I think the biggest thing is that also, again, cut out the excuses, because now I have no reason to be hungry and order crappy food,
Right.
because I have food with
You
me.
don't want to waste the food you have.
Yeah,
so you're
it
not
now
gonna-
took away my ability to make that bad decision, because I plan ahead. So when you're in a good place, plan ahead, so that when you're not in a good place mentally, you don't make rash decisions.
And even so, what I do, even if you don't if you don't make a meal ahead of time, go to like the Hudson news store and get like a bag of trail mix. Like this would be way better than
it's not
the crackers that they're going to give you. Or
it's not the best, but it's a better decision, and it's a step in the right direction.
I would do trail mix. I would do like a banana maybe.
Or they even have probably healthier nuts too that you can get.
I would say trail mix would be okay. Trying to stay away from the ones with like M&Ms in it. And then jerky. Jerky's usually pretty good. That's what I would do if you have to buy something. But also on the same topic of bringing food on a plane, most people don't know, but you can bring food into baseball parks, into ballpark.
Yeah, we were at, while we were in San Francisco, Dave's brother took us to the AT&T park for a baseball game with our nieces. Not either one of our teams, but that's okay. It was really cool to see AT&T Park, and we told him we were bringing food, and he's like, "Can you do that?" And we looked it up because I do it at Miller Park all the time. I don't even like Miller Park's food. I think it's ridiculous and tastes terrible. But they have the same thing. You can bring anything you want in. So we brought our food, and I kind of felt bad because we're sitting there, and like our nieces had ice cream, cotton candy, sodas, a sundae. Like I'm like, and then by the end of the game, they're 6 and 4. They were just breaking down, and like we had to leave, which was fine because it was the end of the game. But you could just tell like they were crabby and they were frustrated. I'm like, but they had donuts for breakfast, ice cream and cotton candy, everything at the game. I'm like, you've literally just fed them sugar all day, and then they haven't had a nap, and now you're mad at them because they're crabby. Like you did that to them. But if we would have just planned their food, I would gladly have carried it for you.
I think a lot of it just people don't know.
No,
if you don't know, you can do it. So just look that stuff up. It's super easy, and it like we're going to the game tomorrow up in Miller Park, and we're going to plan our food.
But again, people use it as an excuse. Oh, I'm going to the game.
But it's
I need to get a helmet bucket of cheese fries.
That used to be my go-to.
But it is very easy to make a bad decision when you are super hungry.
And
when you're like
else.
you know going into it, you're like, I'll be fine. I won't do it. I won't cheat. Then you're there. You have all the smells. You're around it, and smell is very powerful. It starts triggering your brain. It starts triggering your stomach and your hunger. And then all of a sudden you're hungry, and you see everybody else doing it, and you're just like, now once you're hungry, it's so hard to control it. So now you're like, well, screw it. I'm just going to do it.
Versus,
and once you do it,
if you have to have cheesy fries, bring your meal and then split it with someone, and don't eat the whole 10,000 calories.
I like that idea. So that's right. A lot of my members would be like, I brought food and then I didn't eat as much of the bad food. Even that is a step in the right direction. So good. The other thing that was nice while we were camping, this goes into our next point. Dave was my accountability partner. So sometimes when I'm on vacation, I don't like to do drop-ins. I love seeing other gyms, but at the same time, I'm like, for us always being in a gym, it's like, okay, let's mentally step away for a minute. But Dave's like, I really want to go. Like, it's going to feel better. Like, we're going to love it. And I did. They were super nice. We had a fun time. So he was my accountability partner. And then when we went backpacking and we were camping, Dave didn't always want to hike. But that was my thing. So I'm like, let's just go get a hike in. It'll make us feel better.
Yeah. Having that accountability partner too. Yep. So yeah.
I honestly think that's probably one of the most important things for staying motivated, because you're not always like, for me, I don't want to come to the gym at all with my back issue, and then Blair will be like, hey, you haven't been at the gym in a while. So I go, yeah, that's a good point. I need to go show my face.
Yep. One of the coolest things that I usually hear is like, or so read on Facebook, is somebody posts like, didn't want to go to the gym today, but then I came in, and thanks to my Fit Fam or my 3:30 class, you guys really pushed me or motivated me. Like,
yep.
Like, and then you're all of a sudden like, I did feel better. Like that's the things we're talking about. Like accountability partners at the gym, accountability partners if you can tell, maybe you. This goes into our next topic, planning out your week. But maybe your husband or wife isn't into CrossFit, isn't into it as much as you are. But if you plan out your week or plan out your days ahead of time, and maybe you tell that person like, hey, I really want to make sure that I do this, or we move tomorrow, or go for a bike ride, go for a walk, go for a hike, go for a run in the morning, or whatever. Can you just make sure that I do that? Or like, this is when I want to get up, make sure I get up at that time, run it by them. Generally, that person is going to make sure and kind of hold you to it. Like, hey, you said you wanted to run last night. So when you wake up and you're kind of crabby, or maybe you didn't sleep well, or you're just not feeling it when you wake up, that partner, by saying that, hey, you wanted to run today, right, can sometimes give you that motivation.
Yeah, and I think that's great too, like you said, planning out your week, because sometimes I think people are like, oh my God, I'm so busy all the time, and it's sunny and it's nice out. But if you're like we're going to the beach today, we're going to enjoy the sun, but I knew like I have to get to the gym. So even if I get to the gym a little bit late and now I only wind up with an hour versus the 2 hours that I need, and I didn't get everything in, I had already planned that I was here, I got something in, something's better than nothing, and I already planned to enjoy my day later. So by fitting that all in and like planning ahead of time, where everything will work, and that you'll get it all.
Yeah, and that comes from the power of habit, the power of journaling.
Schedule it, booking it. You wouldn't if you scheduled an appointment with your boss, you wouldn't skip it. Treat yourself as your boss. Schedule an appointment with yourself at the gym.
And don't do it.
Don't miss it.
And don't do it on your phone, because your phone can actually, when you pick up your phone, you'll see all the notifications. It can suck you into like other things and you forget. So we recommend that you do it in your journal, or get yourself a little scheduling book. That's what I do. Corian has a scheduling book. Jason, do you? Or do you do it all on your phone?
I write my daily schedule out based on my
so we all write it, because you get sucked into emails, Facebook, all that stuff. So we recommend you write it out. And Sunday night is when Corian and I do it. So this is just our habit piece to plan out our successful week. We sit down after dinner and we plan out our week with our schedule. So we'll go through every day. This is when I coach. This is when I'm working in the building, or this is, I have to do some maintenance here. I have to do this or that, do my errands. And then I'll actually schedule out, like, here's my 2 hour window to do my workout. And this is where I'm going to be. If I'm at Racine, I'll do it in Racine. If I'm in Kenosha, I'll do Kenosha, and actually schedule that all out. And sometimes I'm like, when you break it down that way, it doesn't seem so hectic. It doesn't seem so busy. All of a sudden, you're like, you find the time.
All the guesswork is done. All you have to do is go wherever your next appointment is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that carries over, because then when I wake up and I work from home, I know I'm working from home from 10 to 8. Or from 8 to 10. I have to be at the gym at 10, otherwise I'm not going to get my fitness in, which then makes me more productive on my work, because I only got 2 hours versus messing around 4, 5, 6 hours, and then we just find stupid stuff to do.
Right.
So
you start scrolling through the Facebook, but if you have it all planned and I have to get this done because I got to go, then
it gets done.
Like, I don't even, like, if a notification comes through, I'm like, I can't look at it because I have other things. I'll look at it later. I think that's maybe some of the problem with some people is, man, we're so busy. But if you really broke down your day and you scheduled it out like we're talking about, it wouldn't seem so hectic, and I guarantee you could fit an hour in there.
Ooh, you know where you can find
Because you're going to look in there and you're going to say, I have 3 hours of TV at night. I spend 3 hours on Facebook.
So Ben Bergeron did this. He talks about this. There's a way in your phone to open it up and see how much time you're spending on different things. So if you sit here and tell me...
Facebook's going to tell you now.
Oh, is it now?
I mean, in a couple updates, they're gonna test it and see how that works.
Yeah. So if you sit here and tell me you ain't got time for stuff, and I ask for your phone and look at what you're doing, and you have a whole bunch of games and Facebook and unnecessary stuff on there that is like the highlight of your phone and how much time you're spending on your phone, then I don't want to hear it. Mine, you're going to hear, like, mine's going to be like the podcast and everything like that, because I listen to audiobooks and podcasts whenever I'm driving now.
Right.
So that stuff's fine.
But it's amazing when you break it down. You look in the settings, it'll tell you exactly how much time you're spending on your apps.
So all in all, guys, we know that it's not easy to stay motivated all the time. And if you fall off the wagon, it's real easy to just give up. But remember why you started it. Remember why it's important to you, whether it's because of your personal health, whether it's because you want to be able to play with your kids or live longer, or, some of our members, are using this to be able to go hike or do Tough Mudders, obstacle courses, all that stuff. You can fall off for the week, I get it, but you gotta pull that stuff out again and remember, maybe write it down, keep it somewhere you can see it, because no matter how long you fell off, getting back at it is always a step in the right direction.
Right. And, sometimes your goals change. You may have accomplished a task, or you've done that Tough Mudder race, and you're like, all right. And then all of a sudden, maybe you start to get a little unmotivated, you fall off the wagon a little bit, we always suggest that you have to maybe sometimes set new goals so that you can make sure that you know your why, or now this is the next thing I'm working towards. So establishing or hitting those goals are good, but always have a new set of goals for yourself. If you're having trouble with that, certainly set up a goal session with one of us. We will be happy to help you find those. I always love sitting down with one of our members and going over their 3 things, and then kind of finding one of those common denominators and then helping them realize like how they can achieve it. I love it.
Yeah, and like I've said before, it only takes 2 good meals to get back on track. And I'd argue that it's very similar with working out too. Probably only need to get in here 2 days in a row to feel like you're back in a rhythm.
Yep, that's all it took me this week.
All right, guys. We are burning daylight.
Yeah, we want to get to the beach.
So
enjoy your Saturday, everyone. We'll see you next week with episode 18. Again, as always, if you want to hear something, yeah. If you want to hear us talk about something, please shoot us ideas. I really enjoyed that because it kind of made me members listening. So shoot us an idea if you want us to talk about it. We'll be happy to discuss when we can put it on the air. Stay classy, Harbor Park.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening to Anchored at Harbor Park CrossFit. If you would like further information about our programs, visit www.harborparkcrossfit.com. We hope you'll tune in next time.